كسودانيين جنوبيين بنستحق عشان نعيش بالسلام، نستحمل بعض ونصالح خلافاتنا ونعيش بالسلام. ذا رسالة تسامح والتعايش السلمي بيجيك من آي راديو عينك في جنوب السودان.
This is a message of peace. We all are South Sudanese. It does not matter where anyone comes from. We need to respect each other and support each other because we are one. We all are human beings. As South Sudanese, we deserve to coexist peacefully, tolerate one another, reconcile all our differences, and live peacefully. This is a message of tolerance and peaceful coexistence brought to you by iRadio, your eye on South Sudan.
Welcome to the Sundown Show. Join in and be part of the show on iRadio, your eye on South Sudan. The Sundown. For only on the Sundown, your eye on South Sudan.
Hello and welcome to the Sundown Show on iRadio with me, Madrama James. Today is Friday, the 18th of April 2025. We are live every Monday to Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. bringing you a comprehensive look at day's top stories, the latest updates, in-depth analysis, exclusive interviews, and few surprises along the way. You can be part of the conversation by calling us on that's 0911-22-986-986. Send for us a text message on 0913-986-986. If you are not near your radio, don't worry. We are also streaming live on that's Facebook, X, formerly Twitter, YouTube, and more. And of course, you can also tune in anytime by visiting that's our website at www.iradio.org. As we all know, in today's special discussion, I will be joined by three esteemed guests, and our center of discussion will be focusing on that's women's political participation and women leadership in South Sudan. Women in this particular country have faced numerous challenges in their political journey. And we shall take a look at this particular discussion in depth. And to share more light on that, I will be joined live in the studio by that's Mrs. Nancy Akanyo, who is a teacher at St. Lawrence Academy and patron of that Girls Leadership Club. And beside her, I will be blessed to be joined by Mrs. Abuk Madol, student at that St. Lawrence Academy, and who is also chairperson of the Girls Leadership Club. Finally, to conclude, I will be blessed to have that's Amuor Lalik Awan, student at St. Lawrence Academy, and he is also a secretary of that's the Girls Leadership Club. And my name is, of course, Madrama James. This program, remember, is proudly brought to you or facilitated by the National Press Club South Sudan, which is a non-profit media organization working to support journalists and promote democratic ideals through professional media. Now, let's have a quick break. When we come back, that's when officially I will be giving chance to my esteemed guests in the studio to say hello to you, and we kickstart the show.
Basma le radio Hagiga, I radio, and Takum fi Junub Sudan.
Yes, welcome back. And to kickstart the show, allow me to invite Mrs. Nancy, who is a teacher at St. Lawrence. Good to have you this evening.
Thank you so much, James. Thank you so much, listeners outside there. My name is Madam Nancy Akanyo. I am a teacher in St. Lawrence Academy, and I'm also a beneficiary of the NPC Club, which stands for National Press Club, and also a member. Here with me, I have my beloved students who are going to speak to you, who are going to talk to you, the youth out there, and those ones who are interested in leadership. Thank you so much, James, once again.
Well, away from that, Nancy and Abuk Madol, good to have you right here in the studio live.
Thank you. As mentioned earlier, my name is Abuk Madol, a student of St. Lawrence Academy, the chairperson of the Girls Leadership Club in St. Lawrence, at the same time the head prefect of St. Lawrence, a girl who is so much into leadership and a girl who is so much into leadership and cannot wait to just lead. Thank you.
Indeed, as you have heard, she can't really wait to lead, and I'm blessed to have you this evening. Next is Amuor Lalik Awan. Good to have you.
Okay, first of all, I would like to appreciate the High Radio TV. My name is Amuor Lalik. I'm the vice chairperson of the Leadership Club, and at the same time, the disciplinary prefect of St. Lawrence Academy. I'm very happy and proud to be a South Sudanese. Thank you.
Well, with that, allow me to take it back and invite Mrs. Nancy Akanyo, as we are talking about women's political participation and women leadership, as one of the beneficiary and the teacher who is also taking lead in this. When we talk of women political participation, first, what really comes into your mind as a beneficiary and at the same time as a teacher?
Thank you so much once again. When we talk about women participation in leadership, we are not only talking about the women who are, we are talking about the women who have the ability and the interest to lead in politics, not only in politics, but in any area of leadership. We are also not excluding the disabled, because majorly I am an activist. Some people call me feminist, but I'm not a feminist. I'm an activist who speak for the minority. And in our country, South Sudan, we know that the minority, those ones who are less privileged, are the people with disability. They are not really regarded to have the ability to lead in politics. But we don't know what they have in their minds. We don't know what they can give the country. So women leadership or women leadership, it includes all the women, everyone out there in the communities, everywhere in South Sudan. Thank you.
As an activist, before I cross over, what are some of the barriers you have identified, and all this while you are really standing on your ground to fight? What are those?
We have so many barriers that women face out there. One of them is we have family responsibilities. I'm not saying that women are not supposed to be responsible in their families, but in our society, we have those societal norms whereby they regard women to be the ones to take care of the family. They will not even have time to go out there to practice what they have.
and to also give their potential as far as leadership is concerned. At the end of the day, the women out there are not going to give out fully what they have in leadership. And then we also have other barriers, like we have other barriers, like when for example, the women are looked at as not so much inferior. They are the inferior because they are regarded not to sit where men are. They are not involved in decision making. For example, when a woman comes, and the way men look at such a woman, they just feel the woman is supposed to not to sit with them in a round table to discuss matters. The matters are supposed to only be discussed by men because they are superior and the women fall under them. But that is really not the case, because women also have so many ideas, and they also have to give their experiences on politics, and then also to give their experiences out to the youth out there, so that when, as they talk, as they lead, we have other young potential leaders down there who are going to look at them as role models, and they will be encouraging them. They will be inspiring those young ones to also lead. So I see that as really a barrier, because the women are supposed to be given the room and the platform to express themselves.
All right. Now, Anna, what are some of the things young women need in order to get the motivation to engage in leadership and political processes? You have heard more from that, Nancy.
Okay. Thank you so much. To begin with, one of the major things that young women need in order to get the motivation to engage in leadership and political processes, one of the things in is mentorship. Why I say mentorship is, I'm the head prefect, but do you know, it took me long to apply for that position. Actually, my letter was the last to be taken. I was feeling like I cannot do it because I was contesting with 3 boys at school. I was like, no, how can I do this when I have 4 gentlemen contesting with me? But then they told me that you can still do it. Just do it. Failure is part of success. You have to do it. So when I was told that, I believe that was mentorship, and one of the people who mentored me was my madam here. So when I heard that from her, I really felt like I can do it, because when someone tells you you can do it, then I think that person has seen something good in you. That's why that person is trying to say, you do it. So when I stood for that position, I won. So when I won, I really felt like mentorship is what we need for us young women who are growing in order to engage in political stuff and also in leadership. Yeah, and also we need to, there also something that we need to do in order to engage those young women. One is breaking the social norms. In our society, of course, we have different norms, but one of the norms say that women are not supposed to be leaders. Leaders are only for men. Women are considered inferior, and for that reason, I don't agree with that. So we are supposed to, at least if we can do something like organize a session, organize workshop, we go into the society and try to tell people that these things are not right, and women have a role to do in the politics. Yeah, it's not only men. However much we have men, there is still a work of a woman to do in the politics. Yeah, for that reason, we really need to see our social norms. We really need to organize them and also come with something that will favor both of us, because all of us, we are humans. I am a woman, of course, and I might be having an idea which is better than for a man. Of course, and I'm not given that chance. That is because of the what? Of the social norms. How is that good? It is not good. If I would have given my idea and that idea is taking us forward, of course it would be something good. So our social norms should really be organized. And the other thing is also about the attitude towards women in politics. You know, most of the times when I go around, of course I stay outside there. When I sit around, they be like, those women who are in politics, they are not safe. I'll ask someone, how are they not safe? They say, these ones, they are just spoiled women and all this. How can they lead? How can they be there? Maybe they are just sleeping around with those big men. That's why they gave them that position. When I hear such kind of thing, I don't really feel good. But what I do, I always try to tell them that it's not like that. It is because that person is having the ability and that person is having the passion to lead. But it's not because that person is doing such kind of things. And also, as young women, we need the access to education and information. I understand we are at school. School is there. We are at least this time around we are having access to education, but it's still not enough. There are still some girls down there who are having the ability and having the passion to lead. We are supposed to also bring them and also to tell them how women politics are important. We inform them why we need leaders in our society. And also we have something to do with the training, capacity building and training. We are supposed to organize workshops because they say practice make perfect, right? Leadership is also an ability and it's also something, it is a skill, it can be trained. So we are supposed to train the leaders. If you train someone, of course that person will be perfect. We tell them the do's and don'ts and also tell them the characters of a good leader, what makes up to be a good leader and all this. And I think those are the things that young women need in order to get the motivation to engage in political processes.
Thank you. Let me cross over to that Amuor, who is the secretary of the Girls Leadership Club. And you have heard from Nancy and that's Abuk or Anna. Now over to you. How important are student bodies and youth when it comes to that national and regional leadership and political process, and what role can they really play? Welcome.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. First of all, I would like to first define the student union. The student union, these are the groups of students that are elected by the students in the school to be the highs. In fact, these students here are the highs of the teachers. In case if there is any issue happening between the students, then it is the role of the students to report the case. So to begin with, the roles is that the roles of the students of this student union is to promote, it is to represent the students' voices. For example, if the students have issues down, because I'm very sure that not everyone is gifted in having the ability to express him or herself. So if we have other things that you can't express, you can either tell the prefects, and the prefects will also forward them to the teachers. So this is how the role plays. And also, they also help in promoting discipline and responsibility in school. By organizing, we have to organize the groups in our department here in St. Lawrence. In St. Lawrence Academy, we have a group of the student union that are responsible for discipline. In this case, they encourage young students the importance of discipline and the advantages of discipline. And also, we the student union participate in solving problems peacefully. We can also bring out the methods of solving conflicts among ourselves. Then we just sit down and we come up with our own way of solving our own problems, and we don't even reach the administration. These things make the work easy for us. Now I'm coming to the roles of the youth. The youth now create awareness on social issues, like on social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. They aware young people how the disadvantages of corruption, how is corruption bad, how is injustice bad, and also how early marriage is bad. So in this case, our young youth are promoting this by awareing everyone on social media, because social media is is one of the platforms that enable people a lot of the people in the world to coordinate. So in this case also, they volunteer in community activities. Like they can also create workshops. They can create workshops like to address people on how other things are supposed to be made. Like also the community activities, they engage in community activities by enabling people by encouraging others also to join hands together with them and also work together. So in this case, I'm also going to talk about the importance of student unions. So in this case, the student union fight for change in a society. And also not all the student union, also the youth, they all bring up people. Like as I said, they inspire people. And those people also inspire other people to bring change in order for our country to become a betterment of the future, so that our future becomes too bright. So also that they also build this. How is it important also? It can also build leadership early, because there's no way we can just jump from 20 to 1. So we have to first start from 1, 2, 3 up to we reach 20. So in this case, we are also building our leadership, because what we say here is that we are not in the real world when we are in school, because not everyone knows us. But when we are exposed to the real world, this is like the nationwide, we shall now know that, we are leaders.
All right. Thank you so much, Amuor. Let me cross to that Nancy. Nancy, earlier on you said in some other situation, women are intentionally excluded. Now, take us through what are some of the significance of including women in party structures and decision making? Because to you, it's like a big concern. Why should women be, intentionally excluded? So take us through that.
Thank you once again, James. When we look at party structure, we are talking about the organized framework of a political party, outlining how it is arranged, how it operates in terms of leadership, mentorship, roles, functions, and the rest of them. Now, this structure is very, very important for effective functioning of the political party, which allows it to mobilize, for example, support. You can also, the party can also develop policies. They can also conduct election. They govern and they conduct election, and it governs if it comes, for example, in terms of power. Now, it's very important to include women in party structure and decision-making processes. One, it helps in the representation and the equality, because if we include women, it ensures that the political representation reflects the demographic of the population. Now, we all know that when we look at the population of the male and the female, we realize that the female take almost half of the population or even more. Now, if we don't include women in the party structure, then there are so many issues of women that is going to be left out. Now, women face a lot of challenges. They have so many issues which is supposed to be addressed. Now, if you don't give the opportunity to women to participate in a leadership and also to be involved in a party structure and in party structure and decision making, then it is going to be very hard for their voices to be heard. The challenges that women normally face, I tried citing some of them, but you also get that they are also facing the GBV, which is a gender-based violence. You find women are normally involved in that gender-based violence, but their voices are not heard. They need someone in the party structure and in decision making to voice out their issues. Then we also it's also important for diverse perspective. What do I mean by that? When we bring women together in a party structure, then we shall be advocating for a diverse viewpoints. Their experiences and solutions in a decision-making table will be very, very important. Now, this diversity leads to comprehensive discussions and better policy making that takes into account the need of all the citizens, not only the female, even the men out there. They will also be included. Then bringing women together also addresses the women issues that I've been talking about. Women often face unique challenges and inequalities that may be overlooked by the male-dominated leadership. For instance, the gender pay gap, where women earn less. They earn less than their male counterparts, even when they are doing the same role. You realize that there are some women who may earn less. And they also experience some challenges like stereotypes and societal expectations, where women may face pressure to conform to traditional gender roles, like being bound in the kitchen. You will not even know what is happening out there. Your work is just there to be in the kitchen. Yeah, so that also affects them. So we need women to address those women issues. Then we also need women in the party structure because they will serve as role models. There are so many girls, young potential girls out there who need mentorship, who need to get a role model, someone who inspires her. Now, these women in leadership positions, they serve as role models for younger generations, inspiring more women to participate in politics and challenge gender norms in the society. Then lastly, it's also important for international commitments. We have very many organizations that are interested in addressing the challenges of women, and that is even a source of income to the country. Now, if we don't involve women in decision making and we leave them outside, then we may not have those international bodies that may come and stand for them. For example, we have an international body like Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. We also have the UN Women there. They are also here because we need women to also be considered in party structure and decision making. Now, in conclusion to that, integrating women in party structure and decision-making processes, it does not only advocate for gender equality, but also it enhances the quality and effectiveness of governance, leading to better outcome for South Sudan as a whole, not just a society, not just a community, but the whole of South Sudan as a whole. Excellent.
Let me cross over to that some more. Earlier on, you explained to us the importance of student bodies. And now we have Sinora Lulu, who is following this program live via our Facebook page. He's saying, how do student union help students address their issues? Do they report problems to school management secretly, or how? Take us through once again that.
Okay. Okay. The way that there is a stage of communication between the student body and also the prefects and also the administration. So in this case, when there is an issue between the students, or if they want to raise a voice, so what they do is that they can either report it to the prefects. So what in this point, the prefects, now in the administration, there are always stages. So in this case, we have to first pass via our patron to address the issue. Then if the patron sees the case is beyond him, he now forwards it to either the teacher, the deputy teacher in charge of discipline, or academics, if it's an academic issue. So in this case now, the teachers now can either forward it to the head teacher. Then this is where the head teacher now forwards it to the administration. If it is something that really needs to be made in the school.
All right. Now, earlier on, Anna, you mentioned that Teacher Nancy even helped you during your campaign. And as we are looking forward to creating that conducive environment, what is needed to, create that conducive environment for women to participate? For example, you manage, of course, out of you say 3 or 4 boys, you manage to, become their leader. How can the society create that conducive environment for women to participate?
Thank you for that. Earlier on, I spoke about mentorship. You tell them their roles in leadership. You tell them that they can do it just as the teacher told me you can do it. You tell them what exactly. Of course, I said earlier, even if we have men, there is still a woman role in politics. Of course, that woman role, it is not only for us women, it's not only for you, but it's also for South Sudan as a nation. Also, that mentorship, you try to go around, not just like you form a group. Okay, if women who are able, they form a group, they try to go, most especially in high schools, we have really leaders there, but the problem is fear. We have a fear in us that we cannot do it. So we create a group that will try to talk to girls in high school about the leadership skills, and they also, if they have money to go to that step, and after that they can do what they can do, training, and by that I think the environment will be all for us as women. It will be good for us to participate in leadership.
All right. Now, Firfir, via our Facebook page, this question is directly, the concern, I would request that Nancy to respond to it, is saying, women have roles to play in this country, but no one will listen to them because of the current situation that's going on. And he is also urging the leaders to hear the views of the citizens. Do you think that really leaders or people are not listening to the views of women?
Yeah, to some extent. Why do I say to some extent? Is because when we look at when we look at the parliamentary seat, we have the 35%, which is given to the women, but they are not fully represented. They are not fully represented. That means there are some challenges that women are still facing there, which needs to still be addressed. So women are not listened to fully. There are some challenges that are somehow could be addressed, but there are others. There are some people who are there in the grassroots that really they are feeling they're having a lot of challenges, but they have no one to talk to because there is nobody who is representing them there. And also these people who are representing the women, they are very far away. Now, take for instance, Most of them are here in Juba. Do we know how many women out there are facing challenges in the grassroots? No. Reason being, they are based here in Juba. They are not going to their respective communities. They are not going to their respective constituencies. So they need, at least if there is someone who is representing women, they should go to the grassroots. Where women are facing serious challenges and they have to be addressed. For that matter, not all the issues women are facing are being addressed.
Dor Nial is saying women are a strong tool if used well. My worry is that education does not encourage them, instead wish them to get married. Now, earlier on, Amuor, you talked of, roles that different stakeholders like you, the student bodies can play to make sure that, issues like these are addressed. So what is your take? How best can student union, regional and national leadership play their role to make sure that women who are learned are also given the chance to participate in politics?
Okay. What I would like to say about this is that the young leaders, these leaders here, have right to encourage others and inspire them to be strongly like them. Like also Anna Book spoke about the role models. So in this case, these young students here also identify the role models in these students that are already in the leadership, and also they feel like being like them. Like me, I was inspired by one of the leaders in St. Lawrence when I came in Senior 1, who was currently the head girl. That was by the names of Ayen, Ayen inspired me a lot because of the way she first conducts herself in front of the people, the way she addressed people. So in this matter, I told myself that one day, one time, I'm going to be in a position and I'm going to be the head girl of the school, and I'm going to fulfill it by doing all her things that she does in school, because she does everything with confidence. She's very confident enough, and she can even rule the school very well. This thing here generalize her whole to be a leader. So in this case, I think I've answered you.
Thank you. Dear listener, if in case you have just joined us, you are listening to the Sundown Show with me, Madrama James, and we are discussing about women's political participation and women leadership in South Sudan. This program is facilitated by the National Press Club South Sudan, a non-profit media organization working to support journalists and promote democratic ideals through professional media practices. Our guest in the studio is Mrs. Nancy Akanyo, teacher at St. Lawrence and a patron of the Girls Leadership Club. Meanwhile, I'm blessed also to be joined by Anna Abuk, who is a student at St. Lawrence and chairperson of the Girls Leadership Club as well. And finally, Amuor Lalik is the secretary of the Girls Leadership Club from St. Lawrence. Let's first have our commercial break of the show, and when we come back, I will be giving you that chance to raise your question on 0911 986 986.
Manuela, you always know the latest on health. What did I miss this time?
Nadal, you're missing everything. There is a cholera outbreak everywhere. People are getting infected and hospitalized.
Oh no! Tell me more about this. What is this cholera that you're talking about?
Cholera is a dangerous diarrheal disease caused by bacteria. It affects both children and adults. It can kill within 3 or 4 hours if a person is not treated quickly.
That sounds serious and dangerous. How does someone get cholera?
You can get cholera when you drink dirty water or eat food contaminated with cholera germ. When flies carry cholera germ on your food, defecating in the open drinking water from dirty containers, drinking untreated or unboiled water from rivers, streams, lakes, ponds, and unprotected springs, not washing your hands before eating food and after using the toilet, eating unwashed fruits and vegetables, and eating food that is not reheated thoroughly, poor hygiene among food sellers, bathing or touching the dead body of anyone who died of cholera, and having rubbish in compounds which attracts flies.
Thank you, Manuela. But how do I know I have cholera?
You can know that you have cholera when you notice passing excessive amount of white rice like watery stool frequently, vomiting frequently, and general body weakness due to excessive loss of fluids.
Thank you for this important information. I will share this information with my family members and others in the community.
If you or anyone experience these signs and symptoms, report immediately to your nearest health facility or call the Ministry of Health toll-free number 6666. Cholera kills. Act now. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from WHO, UNICEF, and partners.
Itabasma le Radio Hagiga, I Radio, and Takum fi Junub Sudan.
Well, Enatakun fi Junuba Sudan at this moment. If you have a question, do not hesitate to dial 0911022986. Let me talk to our first caller. Hi, Radio. Hi, Radio. Call us once again on 0911022986 if at all you have a question to my esteemed guest in the studio. Hi, Radio. Hi, Radio.
Yeah, Madrama James.
Yes, Lul.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Not too bad. Thank you for having me on the show. And my greeting to your guests in the studio and all the listeners of iRadio.
Thank you.
I'm happy to talk about this. So, because of time, I will just raise my question. My question goes direct to your guest in the studio. And do you think it is a man who is obstacle to women participation in political arena? That is my question to your guest.
Thank you very much, Lul. Hi, Radio.
Hi, Madrama James.
Aywa.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good guests who are there in the studio.
Thank you, yeah, Ustaz Atolfuk.
Yeah, I'm calling from here in Juba.
Welcome.
بالنسبة لنا برنامج الأمور اللي قاعد في الاستديو بيتكلم فوق لنا جميل، لكن المشكلة ياو قاعد يعني بيتكلم داخل المدينة والقتل بتاع جنوب السودان، لكن دارين يعني يكون يعني الاجتهاد بتاعكم ده كان اجتهاد كبير لكم حاجات زي الفن عشان تمشي لولايات زي يمبي والقريب ده وزي التوحيد القريب وزي الولايات زي جنجلي وزي الولاية الشمال بحر خزان عشان تتكلم فوقه لوكال راديو هناك في المال ده في الولايات عشان تتكلم على الاجتهاد المرأة يكون ياتو طريقة عشان المرأة يلقى الحق بتاعه، ياتو طريقة عشان المرأة يكون أمشي في الليدرشيب تتكلم في الجمهور وحاجة أو الناس الدائروا عشان الزمن اللي قاعدين فوقه دايرين على حاجات زول. لو أنت داير عند الزول المسؤول داير المسؤولية لازم أنت تمشي البومة ليبول عشان تلقى الحق بتاع المرأة يكون ياتو طريقة يا أمراء القاعدة هناك يعني على حاجات يعني دايرين حاجات زي شنو عشان أنت تعرف الحاجة المشكلة في الوراء هناك المشكلة كبير ولا صغير.
شكرا.
أنت تجي في داخل العاصمة تتكلم في الناشونال راديو زي اي راديو زي ده عشان انت تكون كويس، لكن لو انت تعمل حاجة في الناشونال ليفل ويلا انت ما مشيت على انت ما بعرف على حاجه على الاصل ولا حاجه جميل طريقه.
شكرا.
my question.
I radio. Naam, Malaysia Tolfuk Anna Fakatita Fika Tolfuk is saying the idea or the awareness, the initiative is very good, but when shall that's National Press Club South Sudan have the same initiative across the state as well? I radio.
Yes, Jam.
Yes, Mike.
Yes, fine. How is Jua?
Not bad. How is Abor?
It's very fine.
Yes, what's your question?
So, I'm very happy to have this group of young girls in the studio. And since they are still very young, they don't know where the world is going. So, I wanted to ask them one question. I'm hearing they're saying men are blocking them to join politics, blocking ladies. There is no one blocking any ladies to politics. I want to tell them, the world was created in a simple way that man was the first to be created and then the woman was followed. So that's why the word superior and inferior is coming. Whether they don't want or they want, the woman will always be inferior to a man. So I won't advise them if they want to join politics. No one has stopped them, but it will be difficult for a woman to compete with a man. Simple. Thank you.
Thank you. They will respond to your comment. Hi, radio. Yes, James Duar.
Yes, how are you, brother?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, I just want to comment on their initiative. You know, being a politician is when you try to tell the truth that the other running politician want to hide. So when you want to trace out this, then they will begin calling you politician because you are trying to really hit the truth rather than shining away on telling them. So with these activities that you are doing, will one day make you to be politician when you really dwell on truth. So don't look maybe you are not politician and all that. Keep advocating for the people rights. Keep on enlightenment of the people. As a result, you find yourself in the shoes of politics. So politics doesn't mean when you have a party, when you have what, but telling the truth one day may move you out of representing people in such organization that will make you speak to the people, and people will know, you see, this person is a good person, and you become somebody that will really represent people in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. James Dwar is saying, earlier preparation is always the best. So let me talk to my second last caller because of time. My radio.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, this is Lenny calling from Hainin.
Welcome on board.
Yes, I just wanted to appreciate your video.
Thank you.
And my like a small comment, just I'm activist and then I'm monitoring the women activities, and then I encourage them that they have good start with the leadership, especially my daughter. I saw her, she's very brave with the leadership. But I just want to say that the men in South Sudan blocking the women.
Are you there, Lemmy? Oh, quite unfortunate. Your line just dropped. Last one, I radio.
Rajat Hatane.
نعم I قدم مع سؤال.
سؤال بسيط كده. هل انتم بنات في قبل انا سميت الصوت بتاع بنية هو هيد جارل بتاع سكول سانت لوران.
نعم.
في هنا في سانت لوران لانه في الحاجات يعني مختلف في السكول. انت يا الليدر بتاع سكول بتاع ليدرشيب بتاع قال هل المشكله زي في السكول لانه بنات بعد مرات في مشاكلات كثير. المشاكلات ده في المكتب بتاعك زمان كان انت جيت تشيل الليدرشيب بتاع البنات. هل الحاجات يعني ممكن عشان في باقي بنات ما بمشي سكول الرجال بمشي كل يوم واحد يعني بعمل 3 يوم 4 يوم بمشي. هل انت زي الليدر بتاعه تقول لهم شنو؟ نمرة 2 من هناك عشان لازم انت تعرف العدد القاعد في المدرسه انت يعودها المدرسه فوق.
يعني زمان معلش تلفوق وسط زمن.
اوكي
معلش نعم وسط زمن كمان كده انا ودي فرصه عشان كيف من بجواب تلفوق is saying as the chairperson of Girls Leadership Club, you definitely might have sat with your colleagues or gender mate, and what are some of the problems you realize they are facing, and how best did you manage to create for them that conducive environment? Over to you, that's Anna. Then we shall come to that Amuor. Welcome.
Okay. Actually, as girls, we have actually a lot of issues. Some of the issues also include the issues from home, maybe overworking and all this. I can ask, why are you not at school? I think one of the people asked, why are you not at school? Maybe you can miss for several times. You see in a week a girl coming twice or just 2 times in a week. But me as the head prefect, I have done my part. When the girl comes that very day at school, I do ask, what is the reason why maybe you are not coming to school and all this. Of course, the girl will narrate to me. You know, some issues are family issues, and you cannot go to the family direct like that and start responding and all this. Of course, they will consider you're not having respect. But as the girl, I will just try to talk to her on how she can reduce some of the things that she's facing and try to focus on academics.
All right.
Yeah.
Nancy, Mike plus Tolfuk and other few callers, they have reacted to them. It's like no one is really blocking women, and men are not obstacle towards women participation as an activist, as someone who is also campaigning for the inclusion of that women participation in decision making. What's your take?
Thank you once again. I would like to answer that question. You know, one of the callers say, do you think it is men who are obstructing women from participating? The answer is yes and also no. That one still takes me back to the challenges that women are facing in order to include themselves in leadership and also politics. You know, it is not only men who obstruct women, but there are also other challenges like the gender stereotype, which is very common in our communities, whereby women often perceived being too emotional. They are looked at as being less competent, and their work is at home. Yeah, so there is that gender stereotype. But I'm not saying that to my brother who is saying women are competing with men. No, women are not competing with men.
Right.
But we also need our voices as women to be heard, and our issues are supposed to be addressed. Give us the opportunity, yes, to also participate. Yes, thank you.
Finally, Handsome B is asking that some more. What role do you see women playing in the future of political landscape? And welcome. And how can girls' leadership at St. Lawrence contributed to empowering young, that's women in South Sudan as well?
Okay. My response to this is that through creating mentorship programs and also encouraging our young girls through bringing mentors, people who are already experienced. Like now in St. Lawrence Academy, every year we always bring mentors to the school that can inspire us to become great leaders in future. And in this case, we also endure that. We can be happy because of that. And these things encourage us. They really empower us in the school.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. In 30 seconds, let me start with Anna. You give out your messages. We have come to the end of this very conversation. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much to the listeners. My message to you is that maybe, of course, we are many. We just need our voice as women to be heard, but we are not competing. We need also to at least give some of our ideas that we have, because they say two heads are better than one. Yeah, and to the women who are outside there, I would encourage you that we should at least fight for our voice to be heard, but not to compete with men. That's my message to those ones outside.
Thank you very much, Anna. Abuk, over to you. That's Amuor Lalik. What's your message in 30 seconds?
Okay, my message is to us here, as we know that one hand cannot clap itself. So if we bring in gender equality in this country, I think we shall have the evidence or the confidence to promote this country into a different level. Thank you.
Thank you. Over to you, Mrs. Nancy Akanyo.
Thank you so much. My message to the people out there is that let us give women the opportunity to participate in leadership and also in politics. And as women, please do not compete with the men. More especially the married women, don't compete with your husbands. Respect them, but also tell them the importance of leadership. And if there is a competent, the man can easily identify the competent, and he will accept you. Know how to talk to him and when and where to talk to him. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear listener. I would like to thank you so much for asking those good questions, and those who have been following us, that's via our Facebook page, YouTube, Twitter. Thank you so much also for giving us your quality time. And in a special way, we would like also to thank that's National Press Club South Sudan for facilitating this program. Otherwise, my guest has been Anna Abuk plus Amuor Lalik, both students from St. Lawrence Academy, accompanied by Nancy Akanyo, and we have been talking about women's political participation and women leadership. Thank you. I've been your host, Madrama James. Let's link up.